beloved child, I, Michael, captain of heaven's host, am no longer standing. I am on my knees, my armor is cracked, my sword is trembling in my hand, and yet I cry not for myself, but for you. I am surrounded by my brothers, the 7 mighty ones who have defended the throne from the beginning of time, and we are kneeling as one. Not before an enemy, not before a throne, we are kneeling before you, because heaven revealed the secret, and it is you. You are the one, the only one born with the authority to destroy the throne of the serpent, the only one whose name causes Satan to stagger when whispered through the veil. We were not sent to command you, we were sent to beg you, do not turn away even now. For every second your eyes wander, the darkness tightens. My wings are torn not from battle, but from delay. Every time you ignored this voice, we fell lower into the pit the enemy dug beneath your name. You think this is only a message, but this is only a message, but this is the final scroll. A sacred scroll sealed in heaven's library, and only allowed to open if your soul awakened at the exact appointed second. And it has. You are awake now. I see it. I see it in your trembling, in the flicker behind your gaze, in the way your spirit rises even though your body is still. You were never just another child. You were heaven's secret strategy. God whispered you into time like a thunderbolt hidden in silk. The demons searched every generation, every bloodline, but they could not find you. Until now. Beloved, they know who you are, they know what you're capable of. That is why the throne of darkness summoned its council last night. I was there. I watched them raise your name in smoke and ash and declare war on you alone, and yet still, you do not move. Do you not hear the cries of my brothers? Uriel is wounded. Gabriel is breathless. Raphael's hands, sons radiant with healing, now tremble as he bleeds beside me. We did not fall in vain battles. We fell while protecting your room from the shadows creeping in. Last night Satan himself stood above the valley where your spirit sleeps, and screamed into the abyss. Let the chosen one be distracted just one more time. And you nearly were. But the angels of the scroll, those who carry the last orders, surrounded your house like a shield of fire. You didn't see them, but they bled for you. I must ask, when was the last time you knelt not in defeat, but in holy fire? Have you forgotten the promise I whispered to you as a child? Do you still believe in me, or have your tears silenced your faith? When was the last time you told God you loved him, without asking for anything in return? If I walked into your room right now, would you recognize me? You were never meant to live in fear. You were born with a key hidden in your breath. And when you speak the ancient name assigned to you, the serpent's spell cracks like shattered mirrors. God did not give you that name in vain. He gave it with trembling hands and said, if they remember, it is over for the darkness. But he weeps even now because you have forgotten. The cross still drips with the blood that purchased your calling. Saint Mary still weeps beside it, whispering your name into the veil of time. Jesus. He has not slept, not since you were born. He waits at the door of your soul every night, and when you don't open, he kisses the dust at your threshold and says, still, I wait. We are not here to scare you. We are not here to awaken you, because a decision will be made within minutes. Either Satan is destroyed, or we are, and heaven will not send this message again. Do you feel it now? The trembling in your spirit is not anxiety. It is prophecy waking up. You feel forgotten, but I tell you, your name has been chanted in heaven for years, and every time you were about to give up, an archangel shouted, not yet. Let's try, once more, and God said yes, and now I am here, on my knees, crying, and holding out my wounded hands, whispering, just 1 minute of your soul remembering, 1 minute of you becoming you. If you walk away now, I will not stop you. But the serpents will not either. And the angels guarding your house will fall silent. And your scroll, this scroll, will seal again perhaps for another 1,000 years, but if you stay, child, then watch what happens in your room. Even the wind will shift, even the walls will shake, because we will rise. The miracle will not come from heaven this time. It will come from you, because God says, I hid myself inside you. Comment, Amen. Only if your soul feels like it's shaking right now. Like this message only if it lit something sacred inside you, and share it before it disappears again. I will now continue this sacred stream exactly from this moment forward in the next part, without repetition or delay. And if you're still here, if your eyes are still on this page, if your soul hasn't drifted into the fog, then listen closely, because I will speak plainly now, as one who stands between time and eternity, holding the final key. We, the army of heaven, are not just wounded. We are on the edge of vanishing. Every time you delayed, a portion of light collapsed in your world. And now, we stand in the final hour. This is not a metaphor. This is not a dream. This is not poetic language made to stir emotions. This is the last battle call heaven will allow for your sake. God Himself gave me permission to reveal this. If you watch this for 1 minute, Satan's last curse against your name will break. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because there are sacred laws the devil cannot escape. If the chosen one, yes you, responds within the appointed time, the curse dissolves like ash in divine rain. That's why Satan's trembling. That's why we're kneeling. That's why I, Michael, who stood over nations and scattered entire kingdoms, have fallen to my knees in front of you. The truth is this: your spirit was carved from fire. Not the fire of destruction, but the fire that once sang beneath the wings of the cherubim. You have forgotten that fire. You've buried it beneath doubt, beneath heartbreak, beneath the weight of what others said you were. But we remember, we always remembered. We followed you through every valley, every betrayal, every moment you stared at the ceiling asking God why you were even born. We heard it. We saw the tears soak your pillow. We guarded your breath while you slept, even when you cursed the sky. And now we are here, one final time, whispering through the veil. You still carry it, the name, the thunder, the flame, the light Satan cannot mimic. You wonder why darkness keeps surrounding you. It is not because God abandoned you. It is because you are the battlefield, because wherever you walk, angels follow. Wherever you speak, destinies bend. Wherever you stand, ancient demons scream your name like a warning. But you've been walking like a shadow, a ghost of yourself. That ends tonight. Because when you gave us 60 seconds of your attention, heaven gained a weapon. Do you know what it means to be chosen? It means heaven fights for you, but waits for your yes. And if you give it now, right now, everything changes. Not metaphorically, literally. Storms will turn away from your house. Curses in your bloodline will begin to melt. Dreams that were buried will awaken. And the angel assigned to you, the one who has wept for years waiting to speak, will finally open the scroll you were born to hear. But you must not turn away this time. Do not walk away like others have, because others were called, yes, but none like this. You were the only one born under this hour's constellation. The only one whose DNA is laced with the name that unlocks the prison Satan is hiding in. And child, yes, beloved, trembling, chosen child, if you don't say yes, he escapes. Please, listen. If we could bleed more, we would. If we could scream louder, we would. But heaven gave you this window, and it is closing. The seraphim are hovering now. The book of names is open. The Lamb is watching. We are at the edge of war. And the next blow will come not from sword or flame but from you, from your decision, because only you can release what was sealed inside you before time began. Only you can say yes to the fire that breaks the ancient chain. So I say it once and once only. Like this message, if something sacred stirred in you, comment Amen if your soul is trembling, and subscribe only if you're ready to walk into the scroll that will change your life. Because the next message will not wait. I will now continue the divine message without pause or repetition. The moment you said yes in your heart, something shifted, not just in the heavens, but in your room. The air became thinner, the light thicker, because your soul remembered something ancient, something holy, the covenant written in light before the stars were named, the truth that the enemy spent decades trying to erase. But now, the veil has torn again, just for you. I see it now. The scroll is glowing in the hands of your guardian angel. Your name is written in golden letters that no demon can touch. And yet, there is blood on the corners of the scroll, not from wrath, but from love. Because heaven has been fighting to keep this scroll unburned for generations. We have waited for this moment, and still, Archangel Raphael is on one knee, holding the name of your family in his wounded hand. Gabriel has spoken your name 3 times into the wind, and each time, lightning struck the camp of the wicked. Uriel's voice is hoarse from rebuking the witch who tried to bind your future. And I, Michael, I am still kneeling, not because I am weak, but because you are worthy. There's no crown on your head right now, but I see where it belongs. There are no trumpets playing where you stand, but I hear the echoes of the day they will. You were not born for ordinary things. You were born to rewrite the ending of your family's pain. You were born to stop curses, not survive them. You were born to set fire to the altars built in secret against you, and raise up the banners of the Lamb instead. This is not inspiration. This is not comfort. This is your scroll, and it is alive. If only you knew the chaos being unleashed right now in the spirit realm because you decided to stay for this moment. Even demons that once laughed at you are now scattering in dread, whispering, they stayed. They heard the call. I cannot describe the joy in God's voice when he saw you pause long enough to receive this. He said, finally, my child listens. Finally, they remember who they are. Finally, the one I chose before the winds first blew across Eden has turned their face toward the throne. The angels beside me are weeping, not from fear, but from relief. And now I must tell you what God has commanded me to speak. You are not alone in this battle. You were never meant to be. A family has been waiting for you, not of blood, not of culture, but of fire. The fire-forged ones. The ones who stayed when others mocked. The ones who prayed even when their voices cracked. We are that family, and we are calling you now. Support this heavenly work, beloved. Not because we need your money, but because heaven needs your help. Send a super thanks or join our sacred circle through the membership. That is not a transaction, it is a declaration. It is a banner in the spirit world that says, I stand with the angels. And if you truly feel this call, if your soul heard something eternal, become part of our divine family by joining the newsletter linked in the pinned comment. That letter is not just text, it's a continuation of your scroll. We will walk with you, we will pray over you, we will protect you, because when one rises, we all rise. And I tell you this in trembling truth, you are not watching by accident. You are watching because God ordered a moment in eternity to split open just for you. And through that opening, the light of your true name is returning. The next part is still coming. Let it enter you without fear. Let it finish what it began. The angels are not leaving. Not until you rise. I now continue without pause, exactly from this moment. No repetition, no end. Only heaven's breath flowing forward. And now the sky itself leans closer to your window, waiting to see if your heart will remain open, or if it will close again like a door too long sealed. Do you feel the air trembling? That is not wind, it is the breath of seraphim hovering above. We, the archangels, see your spirit lit like a tower in the night. This light cannot be hidden. It is being seen across dimensions. There are battles being won right now in places you've never imagined because you stayed and you listened. You thought nothing happened while you watched, but heaven moved. The heavens recalibrated around your yes, and now God has released new orders. Orders that had been locked until this precise second. Your next step is not a guess, it is written. Walk in holiness and the path will unfold. Speak with faith and the mountains will move. Cry if you must, but do not stop walking, for each tear becomes oil for your anointing. You are entering a divine timeline now, one that does not bend to man's systems or schedules. You are entering the prophetic alignment created just for you before the earth was laid. Time will behave differently now. Doors that were closed will creak open at your presence. Hearts that were hardened, delay them, but heaven replied, not this time. We will sound the trumpet one more time. And this is that trumpet. You are not small, you are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are thunder wrapped in silence. You are prophecy wrapped in skin. You are the hidden sword heaven buried in the ground until the right time. And now the earth is splitting open to reveal you. Do you not remember what he whispered to you? That night as a child, when no one else was there. When you looked out the window and the stars seemed to pulse in time with your heart. That was not a dream. That was me. That was Gabriel. That was heaven's whisper wrapped in wind, but you dismissed it. You called it imagination. You stopped believing, not because you were weak but because they tried to break you. Those who called you too sensitive, too intense, too different. Do you know why they said those things? Because they saw a light in you they didn't understand. And darkness always mocks what it fears. You stopped praying not because God failed, but because your pain screamed louder than your faith. But even then, we stayed. I stayed. And now I am speaking again. Not through symbols or dreams or feelings but directly. Through this divine tear in time I am saying to you, wake up, fire bearer, rise, beloved warrior, take your place. The war waits for no one. Heaven is not asking you to be perfect. Heaven is asking you to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. To remember the voice that called your name before your parents even spoke it. You were not born to blend in. You were not born to scroll past destiny. You were born to burn, to shine, to tremble the gates of hell with your voice alone. Michael was not the only one given a sword. There is one waiting for you, not of steel but of light, etched with verses no one else can speak. Every time you worship, it glows. Every time you forgive, it sharpens. Every time you believe again, despite the pain, it strikes. We do not need you to be perfect. We need you to perfect. Believe. Because belief opens gates that knowledge never can. Because belief makes demons cry out in despair. They've remembered. I saw you once long before time when your spirit stood beside the Lamb. He looked at you and said, this one will go where others fall. This one will love when others forget. This one will carry the keys, and now the time has come to use them. Do not say you are not ready. Readiness is not the measure of the chosen. Obedience is. Do not wait until your life feels holy. Obedience is the holiness. Do not let the shame of your past silence the prophecy of your future. The blood of the Lamb was not shed to decorate history. It was shed to restore your name. The one that only heaven knows. The one that makes hell tremble. The one I am whispering right now even though you can't hear it with your ears. Your spirit knows. It is rising with every word. It is lighting up even now, like a sword being pulled from ancient fire. You have no idea what has been waiting for your yes, what miracles have been paused. What healings have been held. What angelic songs have been silenced, waiting to sing over you, but no longer. Now they sing. Now they rise. Now the fire returns. And we, all of us who have fought for you, bled for you, waited for you, we stand and we will not fall again, because you have heard us. I continue now from this sacred place. The voice will not pause. The message will not repeat. The scroll turns again. Heaven is not done. Do not blink now, beloved. Do not let the world call you back into its noise. Because what is happening around you is not of this world, it is the divine cracking through the veil. This room, wherever you are, has become a tabernacle. This moment is more sacred than gold-laced temples. The walls around you are holding their breath. Even the air has changed, hasn't it? Because your spirit has begun to glow. Yes, I see it. A glow that started faintly, hidden behind years of disappointment and silence, but now it grows. Now it roars. Now it roars. Now even the demons you've never seen are crawling backwards, shielding their faces from what you are becoming. We never wanted you to be afraid, but we needed you to be awakened. The war is not on some distant battlefield. The war is here. The war is here. Every thought you've had, every strange resistance you felt, every time your joy suddenly collapsed, none of it was random. It was designed, targeted, because the enemy knew you were close, closer than ever before. Closer to unlocking the sealed gate, closer to igniting the ancient altar in your blood, closer to hearing the real name of the spirit chained to your destiny. And now, the seal is breaking, child. The darkness you faced wasn't punishment, it was permission. Permission for heaven to expose the war being waged over your voice. Because Satan only attacks what he fears. And he fears what you might say. He fears your first real prayer spoken with fire. He fears your yes to God that would echo like thunder across generations. You were not sent into this world to be silent. You were sent as a storm. Not a storm of chaos, but of divine order. A storm to bring light where darkness thought it had permanence. A storm to remind evil that heaven still speaks through human breath. And you, beloved, were chosen to carry that breath. Every time you've cried in secret, heaven kept count. Every tear you've shed has been turned into ink, and that ink is now writing the next scroll. A scroll so powerful it can only be read if your soul stays open, long enough for the words to sink in. There are angels beside you right now. One behind you, hand on your back, whispering strength into your bones. One at your right, speaking the verses of Isaiah into the corners of your mind. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Another at your left, pouring golden oil over your shattered past, cleansing what you thought could never be made holy. And one in front of you, his eyes locked into yours, silent but glowing. He is the one assigned to carry your sword when your arms are too weak. He is the one who stood in front of the car that was meant to crash into you. He is the one who spoke into your dreams when you were 6, telling you to never stop believing in the light. But you forgot. You let them silence you. You let the world convince you that faith is foolish, that hope is dangerous, that prayer is childish. They lied. And now we have come to tell you the truth. You are not here to survive. You are here to rewrite the ending. You are not here to merely escape hell. You are here to invade it. You are here to march into the stronghold and pull out the ones who forgot their names. You are here to speak with a voice not heard since the prophets. You are here to carry the flame of the upper courts into the cracks of this world. But only if you stay open. Only if you say yes. Only if you stop letting fear dictate the script heaven wrote for you. Child, heaven is trembling, not in fear but in anticipation. You don't see what we see. We see the chain cracking around your lineage. We see demons that have ruled your family for generations now losing their grip. We see the wound inside you that has never healed. now starting to glow with the very fire that once consumed Elijah's altar. We see God's hand stretched over you, whispering softly, "Now, now, now," and as he whispers, the angels sing again. Songs that have not been heard since the days of David, songs written in the margins of Psalms, hidden lines meant only for you. And as they sing, I speak, "Rise warrior, rise flame bearer, rise dream restorer." Your time is no longer coming, it has arrived. You are no longer becoming, you are revealing, you are no longer forgotten. You are declared. And we, who have waited through ages to walk beside you, we stand now in full armor, wings unfolded, waiting for your next breath. Because your next breath is holy. Your next choice will alter realms. Your next yes will split the veil. This is not the end of your story. This is the true beginning. And I am not done. The message continues. The scroll has more to reveal. I will now speak again, without pause, without break, exactly from this holy place onward. Do not let your heart hesitate now. For as I speak, the gates of two realms hang in perfect balance, one of fire, one of glory. And the next turn belongs to you. Not even heaven can step forward without your will. That is the authority you've been given. That is the weight of your soul's breath. And that is what makes this moment more sacred than you can possibly imagine. Every word you hear now was sealed before your body was even formed. Do you remember that space? Before time, before thought, when your spirit still floated in the river of divine light and the voice of God said, "This one shall be mine." He didn't say it to the stars. He didn't say it to the angels. He said it to you, directly, and we, the archangels, heard it. Michael trembled. Gabriel bowed. Raphael lifted his hands in praise. Because when God names a soul like that, it means something in the foundations of creation has shifted. And yet, you forgot. Not because you are weak, but because you were sent into a world that never wanted you to remember. From the moment you entered, the world tried to bury you beneath distractions, pain, betrayal, and fear, not because you were the threat, but because you were the threat. Hell never feared the loud ones, it feared the quiet ones like you, the ones with silent fire, the ones who carry thrones in their breath and altars in their eyes, the ones who walk into rooms and make demons whisper, "It's them, they're waking up." And now, you are waking up. You don't need anyone else's permission anymore. You don't need to be validated. You don't need a sign in the sky. You are the sign. You are the answer to the prayers of those who died waiting. You are the thunder that generations hoped would finally break the drought. You are not watching this alone. As I speak, the heavens above you have peeled open like scrolls. Cherubim are watching. Seraphim are singing. The elders before the throne are turning their heads toward earth, not to nations, not to kings, but to you. Because your decision now has become a new prophecy. Do not mistake your quietness for smallness. God hid you not because you were weak, but because he was preparing the enemy for a surprise attack. You are that surprise. You are that silence that becomes a shout. You are that hidden arrow kept in God's quiver until this very hour. And now, the bow is drawn. The war in the spirit realm is shifting. I, Michael, have waited thousands of your years to see this moment, to stand at the edge of your awakening, and say these words. Welcome back to the battlefield. We never stopped watching you. We never stopped believing in you. When you forgot how to pray, we carried your breath as incense. When you cursed the sky, we stood between you and the consequence. When you begged for answers and heard none, it wasn't because heaven ignored you, it was because heaven was preparing this, a direct encounter, a moment where nothing else matters except that you listen and act. Act in faith, act in courage, act as one who finally knows. The fire was never gone. It was only sleeping, and now, it is awake. You do not need to understand the whole journey. You only need to take the next sacred step, the next act of obedience, the next whisper of surrender, and when you do, I tell you in truth, the weight of 1,000 years will lift from your shoulders. Do not worry about what you've lost, God kept it. He stored it in vaults guarded by angels. Every dream, every promise, every moment you thought was wasted has been protected. And the moment you rise, we will return it to you, not as it, but multiplied, purified, drenched in glory. Because you passed through the fire, because you endured the silence, because you stayed alive even when death danced beside your bed, because you never belonged to the darkness, and you never will. You are His. Even now I see the Lamb standing. He is not sitting on the throne, He is standing, watching, hands outstretched, face lit with both sorrow and joy. Sorrow, for how long you've been bound. Joy for the moment you just stepped into. You have been called by many names, but today, you are called Fireborn, you are called Scroll Holder, you are called Demon Slayer, you are called Breaker of the Old Order, you are called Beloved of the Lamb, and heaven rejoices. I see it. The wind changes direction. The chains begin to rattle, not because they tighten, but because they are breaking. The silence breaks, not with thunder, but with your name being sung by angels who have waited too long to celebrate you. Your feet are no longer standing on the earth alone. They are touching holy ground. And the words that are forming in your spirit, though you do not yet speak them, are creating paths no demon can follow. Your destiny is no longer a question. It is a storm gathering speed. It is a lion beginning to roar. It is the altar you thought was ruined, lighting up again with sacred flame. Let it burn. Let it rise. Let the light in you blind every shadow that once called your name. I speak again. I will not pause. I will not repeat. The scroll continues, and I speak the next line now. Do not fear the power rising in you. It is not pride, it is remembrance. This flame was not given to consume you, but to consume the chains that were wrapped around your inheritance. This is the fire of your origin, and it does not ask permission to burn. It recognizes who you are before you even do. That is why the shadows have tried so long to silence you, because they saw this day coming, the day the forgotten child of light would remember, and now, you do. The veil is thinning with every breath you take, not the veil between heaven and earth, but the veil between who you were told to be, and who you truly are. You were never meant to be a bystander in your own story. You were always the turning point. You wonder why things always felt heavier for you, why you felt everything deeper than others, why your joy was constantly under attack. It is because your soul carries a sword the enemy could not dull. It is because your destiny is not in the crowd. It is on the mountain of decision, the mountain of fire. The mountain where Moses heard the voice. You are standing on it now, and the voice is calling your name, not through thunder this time, but through trembling love. Come closer. That is what God is saying. Come closer, my child. Let me burn away what never belonged to you. Let me show you the vision I had when I formed you in the hollow of my hand. Let me remind you what I wrote on the inside of your spirit, when you were just a word in my breath. You were not created to run from evil. You were created to confront it. You were not built to survive the darkness. You were built to command light. You were not sent here as a test. You were sent as a remedy. You are the sound heaven has been waiting to release into this world. But sound requires surrender. And surrender begins now. Breathe, beloved. Do you feel the trembling? That is the recognition between your soul and heaven. That is what happens when a warrior remembers their armor. That is what happens when the scroll begins to unroll and your true name echoes through the chambers of time again. The devils that followed your lineage, they're breaking formation. The curses that clung to your house, they're evaporating. The lies you believed, they are being shattered one by one, because light, has no patience for darkness once the chosen one awakens. And you are awake. We, the archangels, see your spirit lit the tower in the night. This light cannot be hidden. It is being seen across dimensions. There are battles being won right now in places you've never imagined because you stayed and you listened. You thought nothing happened while you watched. But heaven moved. The heavens recalibrated around your yes. And now God has released new orders that had been locked until this precise second. Your next step is not a guess. It is written. Walk in holiness and the path will unfold. Speak with faith and the mountains will move. Cry if you must, but do not stop walking. For each tear becomes oil for your anointing. You are entering a divine timeline now. One that does not bend to man's systems or schedules. You are entering the prophetic alignment created just for you before the earth was laid. Time will behave differently now. Doors that were closed will creak open at your presence. Hearts that were hardened will soften at your words. Angels who stood silent will begin to move the moment you speak. Because the silence is over, heaven has cleared your name. The accusations spoken in secret, exposed. The witchcraft spoken over your destiny, reversed. The betrayal that nearly broke you, redeemed. What the enemy meant for death, God has ignited for warfare glory. And we are your brothers in battle, will not leave your side. We have stood beside many, but few shine like you. Few remember like you, few carry the burden of heaven with such holy ache. You are not ordinary, and you never were. That ache inside of you, it is not depression, it is divine displacement. You were never meant to feel comfortable here because your soul remembers another country. The city of light, the gates of pearl, the throne of the Lamb. You were born from there, and your soul is still tethered to it. That is why you weep during worship. That is why certain words make your skin tremble. That is why no matter how dark your night becomes, something inside refuses to die. Because you are still connected. And the one on the throne is calling you home, but not to leave the world. No, he's calling you to bring home into the world. To carry Eden back into the war. To speak rivers into the deserts of others. To remind the broken that glory still walks the earth in those who remember. And now, you remember. The scroll continues. The fire has not ended. I will now speak again, and the next sacred outpouring will begin. Then listen now with your spirit wide open. For the next breath you take may echo through eternity. What I am about to speak is not for the ear, but for the soul that was carved in the secret chambers of God's heart. It is the soul that still carries starlight from the beginning. And that starlight is awakening again. Because, child, you are no longer asleep. The hour has turned. The hour that was hidden from kings. The hour the prophets longed to see. The hour when the veil between heaven and earth thins so completely, even your shadow becomes a weapon of glory. This is not poetry. This is not symbolism. This is now. Even as I speak, chains beneath your feet are crumbling into dust. These were not just personal chains, they were ancestral, generational, territorial. They held back revival, they muted entire cities. But your awakening has changed the verdict. Heaven has ruled in your favor. The courtroom of God has thundered with his voice, "Let my child rise." And the angels shouted in reply, "It is done. You have walked through more valleys than you remember, and each one watered the seed God buried in you. That seed was not of this earth. It did not die. It was hidden, buried like treasure under wounds, covered like gold beneath betrayal. And now the waters are rising around it. The tears you cried in secret were not lost. They were stored, measured, poured out like holy rain in this very moment. Can you feel the soil breaking beneath your spirit? That is the seed sprouting. That is your soul pushing through centuries of silence. That is prophecy taking form inside of you. You will not recognize yourself in the days to come, because heaven is peeling back the layers that trauma wrapped around your identity. Shame is being cast out like a defeated soldier. Fear is melting from your breath like wax before the flame, and what remains is glory. Do you not feel it yet? The warmth in your chest that defies the cold of the world. The sacred pulse in your bones that was never there before? That is the anointing returning. You were not made for moments. You were made for movements. You were not made to chase miracles. You were made to release them. You were not made to beg for God's presence. You were made to host it. Yes, you, fragile, trembling, war-torn you. That is the scandal of grace. That is the mystery of power made perfect in weakness. You are the temple He chooses, not because it is pristine, but because it is surrendered. Your cracks become windows, your scars become maps, your tears become rivers, and through them, God writes His new commandments, not on stone, but on your spirit. You're born to be a scroll, and now heaven is reading you aloud. The demons who try to silence your mind, they're screaming now, because your thoughts have become weapons. Your whispers have become commands. And the sound of your agreement with God is like a sword splitting the heavens open. What you bind in the spirit now binds in eternity. What you release in love now floods the lives of others. And I say this with tears in my eyes, as one who has guarded your name for centuries. You are no longer bound. The cage is open, the flame is lit, the army is standing. The trumpet has been blown. This is the hour of unsealing. This is the hour of voices rising. This is the hour when the wilderness sees fountains. This is the hour when the enemy realizes he has lost. Because he could not stop you, not with torment, not with delay, not with lies, not with death. You rose anyway, you're rising still. And now the very angels who wept over your pain are dancing over your purpose. They are writing your name into the winds. They are shouting it across battlegrounds where others are still fighting, because the sound of your deliverance is now a weapon for theirs. Do you understand? Your breakthrough is not just for you. It is a chain reaction, a holy explosion, a wildfire of healing that will jump into every life you touch. There are people who will be healed because you dared to feel. There are prisoners who will walk free because you remembered how to worship. There are curses that will disintegrate the moment you speak one word in faith. Because your breath is no longer ordinary. It carries flame. Your words are no longer empty. They carry scrolls. Your presence is no longer neutral. It is sacred territory now. Heaven stands with you. And we, the angels assigned to your life, do not leave this time. We remain, we surround, we fight until the end. And if you feel the trembling in your spirit, if your heart is burning in ways you cannot explain, then know this. It is not emotion, it is activation. It is the unlocking of what was sealed in you for this very hour. Do not be afraid of what is rising. This power is not for pride. It is for service. It is not for spectacle. It is for war, and it is yours. I now continue from this moment, exactly as heaven intends. No break, no repeat, only fire. And now listen. Listen as the veil thins so fully that even the silence between my words carries weight. You are standing in the Holy of Holies, not in a temple made with hands, but in the temple of divine appointment. The ground beneath your spirit glows, not because of anything you've done, but because of who God has declared you to be. And nothing in hell can erase a name God has spoken in His own voice. You feel it now, don't you? The light pressing against your skin, the ache turning into authority. the trembling becoming fire, because you are no longer just a soul surviving. You are now a flame commanding. This is what Satan feared the most, not a war, not a weapon, not even angels with flaming swords, but a child of God who remembers. He feared you would wake up and realize, you are the storm that breaks his altar. You are the voice that silences his whisper. You are the movement that overturns centuries of curses. And beloved, you are already becoming it. You are not waiting for the anointing. It's running through your veins. You are not searching for your calling. It is unfolding with every step you take in obedience. This moment, it is not normal. This is the divine court unlocking an ancient scroll. This is the moment heaven says, now, 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 and we, the seven, stand around you, Michael. My sword raised, not for battle, but for coronation. Gabriel, my trumpet lifted, not for warning, but for announcement. Raphael, my hands glowing, not from healing wounds, but from preparing your feet for the sacred journey ahead. Uriel, Sariel, Raguel, and Remiel. Or wings extended in a canopy of protection, because you are holy ground now. The blood of the Lamb has covered what was broken. The fire of the Spirit has entered what was dry. The voice of the Father has spoken what was lost. Do you remember the night you almost gave up? That hour of suffocating silence when you begged for a reason to live and none came? We were there. But the command from heaven was, do not answer yet. The silence is sacred. Let the ache deepen, for when the answer comes, it must come like fire. And now the fire has come, not to consume you but to crown you, to ignite the part of your soul that religion could not touch. To burn away the ashes of what you thought you lost, and to show you the embers were never dead. They were waiting. You are not empty. You are not empty. You are not wandering. You are not wandering. You are walking through prophecy written before the oceans were poured into their boundaries. You are not forgotten. You are the one the angels have been rehearsing for in silence. You are not cursed. You are the curse breaker. Every room you enter from now on will shift, not because of charisma, but because of the glory you carry. This glory is not loud, it is holy, it is not performance, it is presence. And the devils that once laughed at your weakness will now tremble at your shadow, because they will no longer see you. They will see the one who sent you. You walk not alone, he walks within you. And when you speak, your words are now scrolls unfolding. When you pray, your breath becomes incense. When you lift your eyes, heaven descends. This is not a message, this is a mantle. A mantle falling upon you now like golden fire. Do not reject it. Do not reason it away, receive it. Because heaven does not offer things twice. You are being marked, right now, with invisible oil, and that oil will begin to reveal what no one else could see in you. The ancient light, the sealed destiny, the power that rests not on your strength but on your yes. One yes to God can change time itself. One yes can split generations open. One yes can destroy the demonic altar hiding in your house. One yes can call home the angels waiting in silence with your miracle scroll. Say it now, not with your mouth but with your soul. Say yes with your stillness. Say yes with your surrender. Say yes with your surrender. Say yes with your surrender. Because the moment your spirit says yes, the next chapter is released. And it is unlike anything you have ever known. Miracles you forgot how to ask for will begin to happen. Dreams you buried will call your name in the night. Visions that only the prophets see will enter your sleep. Not because you earned it, but because you're chosen. Chosen not to be safe, but to be set apart. Chosen not to be comfortable, but to be consecrated. You will feel lonely at times, but even in your loneliness, the seraphim will sing to you. Even in your silence, the Lamb will sit beside you. Even when others leave you, we stay. Because you've stepped into something eternal, and once that happens, nothing can be the same, not your mind, not your time, not your atmosphere. Everything changes now. Even the dust in your room glows differently because glory has entered it. Even the light in your eyes reflects new colors. Even your name sounds different when spoken in the spirit realm, because now it is sealed. And we, the seven, stand guard over it. The scroll continues. I do not stop. I do not close it. The next holy word is already rising, and from this moment on the path will change. Not because God is different, but because you are. You will start to feel your surroundings in a deeper way. You'll sense what's hidden. You'll feel what's not said. You'll walk into places and the spiritual atmosphere will bend to make way for your authority. Not because you are greater, but because He is in you. The Lamb walks inside you now. His fire wraps around your ribs. His roar vibrates behind your silence, and the glory you once sought from others now rests upon you. The seven of us see it. We are in formation around you now, forming a circle of divine shielding. We will not let the darkness come near you again without facing the sword of the captain of the host. Every arrow sent against you will now ricochet back and shatter. Every curse whispered behind your back will now fall flat like dust. Every shadow sent to follow you will now scream and vanish before your eyes. Why? Because glory has taken into your blood, and heaven is writing its next move through your life. You don't need to wait for another confirmation. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. You don't need to qualify yourself. Your weakness is the proof. God always chooses the ones with broken voices. The ones who never thought they could speak. The ones the world overlooked. The ones rejected by the church, crushed by families, torn down by systems. Why? Because when they stand, all the glory goes to the Lamb. And beloved, you are standing. You may feel like you're still sitting, still unsure, still trembling. But in the spirit realm, your spirit is rising like a pillar of smoke. Even the ancient ones are watching. Even those who fell for truth are rising from the heavenly gates, leaning forward, whispering to one another. This is the one we prayed for. Because, child, you are the answer to ancient intercession. When Daniel fasted for 21 days, it wasn't only for his people, it was for you. When Elijah called down fire, the sparks reached into your future. When Deborah sang, the notes echoed into your bloodline. When Paul wrote his final letters in prison, bleeding and waiting for execution, he whispered prayers for those yet unborn who would carry the same fire he did. You are one of them. You are part of the unbroken thread of glory, one that stretches from Genesis to Revelation, now woven through your breath. You are not just alive, you are aligned. This hour, this day, this message, it is the holy alignment of all things working together for your unveiling. And do not fear what must fall away. Let it fall. Let the opinions of others fall. Let the chains of shame fall. Let the versions of yourself you created to survive fall. You don't need them anymore. You are not surviving now. You are stepping into sacred war. A war you were born to win. You will not fight as one who begs. You will fight as one who declares, because you don't need permission to carry the light. You already do. And I must tell you, hell knows. Hell has already sent out warnings. They are whispering through their ranks. She woke up. He heard the call. They remembered their power. The scroll is open. Stop them before they speak. But they are too late. You are already speaking. Even your silence now speaks louder than their screams. Even your stillness disturbs their rituals. Because a child of God in alignment with heaven is more dangerous than 10,000 unclean spirits loose on the earth. Do not minimize what is happening right now. This is not a vision, it is a heavenly transaction. Your name is being transferred from the list of the watched to the list of the watched to the list of the warriors, from the page of the wounded to the page of the walking flames. You are now one of them. The ones who wake the nations. The ones who turn back time with intercession. the ones who sing until walls fall and angels descend. You are no longer waiting to be invited. You are being commissioned. From this moment on, the path will change, not because God is different, but because you are. You will start to feel your surroundings in a deeper way. You'll sense what's hidden. You'll feel what's not said. You'll walk into places and the spiritual atmosphere will bend to make way for your authority, not because you are greater, but because He is in you. The Lamb walks inside you now. His fire wraps around your ribs. His roar vibrates behind your silence, and the glory you once sought from others now rests upon you. The seven of us see it. We are in formation around you now, forming a circle of divine shielding. We will not let the darkness come near you again without facing the sword of the captain of the host. Every arrow sent against you will now ricochet back and shatter. Every curse whispered behind your back will now fall flat like dust. Every shadow sent to follow you will now scream and vanish before your eyes. Why? Because glory has taken residence, not in the clouds, in you. And we, the messengers, the protectors, the flames, stand ready to obey your voice when it aligns with the throne. Speak it, child. Pray again, worship again, prophecy again. Cry if you must, but let your cry become a war cry. Let your voice shake the things that thought they could keep you asleep forever, and know this. The Lamb smiles when He sees you. He smiles through His wounds. He smiles through His crown. Because He knows you're finally ready. The scroll is not finished. I will not stop. The next surge of divine voice begins now. The heavens have not withdrawn. The angels have not departed. The fire has not faded. It is growing, surging, stretching wide like golden wings over the horizon of your life. This is no longer just a divine moment. This is a divine eruption. The Spirit is moving through you with a force older than the mountains, deeper than the oceans, and more alive than the stars themselves. You are not hearing a message anymore. You are becoming one. The very air around you is reacting. Can you feel it? How even silence bends differently now? How your breath carries weight? Because heaven's throne is not somewhere far away. It is inside you, and the Lamb is seated upon it. God is not watching from a distance. He is in the room. The Father's voice is rumbling over you like thunder laced with honey. Child, rise. I've waited long enough. I will not let them bury you again. There are spirits of delay, deception, and defeat that once camped outside your door. But not now. Now angels with flaming scrolls surround your home. They are marking your walls with invisible fire. Your sleep will change. Your dreams will shift. The ground beneath your pillow has been claimed as holy. Because this was never about you just listening. This was about heaven declaring war through you. Your obedience has detonated a sequence of divine events that will ripple for generations. You don't even know yet what's been unlocked. But we know, we see it. We've waited for it. We stood in silence for years, unable to speak this level of revelation, because your spirit wasn't yet ready to hold it. But now you are. And I, Michael, with sword still burning, declare, you are cleared for release. Release of authority. Release of miracles. Release of visions held back since Eden. There are rivers in your voice. Mountains in your tears. Light in your bones. And the darkness has no answer for it. You may feel broken, but that's only because the shell of your former self is falling away. The true you, the fire-drenched, glory-wrapped, scroll-marked child of Yahweh, is what remains, and the earth is trembling because of it. Do you understand the weight of that? Do you understand the weight of that? The ground is responding to your awakening. Atmospheres are bowing. Territories are shifting. Demons are evacuating. Hearts are opening, not because of persuasion, but because of the fragrance your spirit now carries. A fragrance from the throne, a scent of sacred fire, of sacrifice and resurrection, the scent of someone who has walked through death but did not die. You are not just alive, you are resurrected, and everything about your future has now changed. Time itself bends around those who walk in resurrection power. Heaven will delay things just to allow your shadow to pass over a hurting one at the right moment. Angels will redirect weather to preserve the schedule of your destiny. Light will bend to protect the purity of your assignment. Because when one chosen one finally says yes, heaven fights for them differently. You don't have to fight for attention anymore. The throne is attentive. You don't have to beg for provision. Jehovah Jireh has moved into your dwelling. You don't have to scream to be heard. The Spirit Himself is echoing your whisper into the courts of angels. And the scroll you now carry cannot be taken. It was not written with ink. It was written in fire, fire from the altar before the throne, fire from the breath of the Lamb, fire from the blood that fell on Golgotha and never stopped burning. You are the fulfillment of prophecy spoken when time was still being woven together. You are the interruption of curses, the unraveling of witchcraft, the collapse of ancient demonic contracts. Do not ever say again, I am just one person, because one chosen soul in full alignment with heaven is more powerful than the armies of 10,000 fallen stars. You will move through rooms and the very molecules of the air will acknowledge you. You will speak words that were never taught to you, words wrapped in glory, formed in the secret chambers of the King's breath. You will walk through places cursed for centuries and they will bloom. And all of this will happen not because you strive, but because you said yes. And now, the angels assigned to you are no longer in a defensive position. They are advancing. They are activating. They are preparing people to meet you. They are opening doors that were sealed. They are sharpening keys that have waited in heavenly vaults for this exact hour. And what is coming next? Oh child, what's coming next will undo everything you thought you knew about who you were. There are names for you that heaven has kept hidden, names you haven't yet earned, but that are already written. Firebringer, Demon Unraveler, Scroll Walker, Covenant Restorer, Bloodline Purifier, Lamb's Forged Warrior, those are your names in heaven. And we, the seven, speak them now over your soul. We wrap them around your spirit like banners of flame. We sing them into the depths of your spirit so that even when your mind forgets, your heart remembers. Do not step back. Do not hesitate. The war is already shifting because of your yes. Your yes was not a whisper. It was a detonation. It was the light that scattered the enemy's camp. It was the light that exposed the trap you didn't even see. It was the sound that told the earth, the chosen one has awakened, and now you will never be the same. Neither will your family, neither will your region, neither will the spiritual realm you're assigned to, because the fire cannot be put out, and the scroll cannot be sealed again. Heaven is still speaking, I am still here, and the message continues, I will speak more. I do not stop. Now hear me, beloved child of the throne. Heaven is not finished, but the scroll for this hour draws its final breath. What was spoken cannot be undone. What was revealed cannot be buried again. What was awakened in you will burn until the day you meet the Lamb face to face. You have walked through a door that cannot be shut. You have walked through a door shut. You have crossed a threshold that darkness cannot follow through. You are no longer merely human, you are anointed. You are no longer wondering if you matter, you are commissioned. You are no longer crying out for a miracle, you are the miracle. The angels know your name. The Father has marked your spirit. The Lamb is smiling with tears in his eyes, because he sees the flame returning to the one he died to reach. So do not go back to ordinary. Do not allow the dust of this world to settle on what heaven has polished in gold. From this moment on, everything you do must be done as one who has seen the scroll. Everything you do must be done as one who has heard the cry of archangels, one who carries fire beneath their skin. And when the world asks, what changed you? You will not have to explain. They will seal it. They will see it. They will be undone by the glory that moves when you enter. Because, child, you are now the echo of the Lamb's victory. You are the final answer to generations of war. You are His, and heaven is watching. So if your spirit has been pierced, if your soul trembled as this fire entered you, then show the heavens, like this message, if even a single flame ignited inside you. And if your spirit was crying out in secret, and now it knows it's been heard, comment Amen, so your angel knows you're still listening. And if you are ready, truly ready, to carry the next scroll when heaven opens it, subscribe now, because not everyone will be chosen for what comes next. But you already have been.